heart is really for discipleship. That is the number one pillar of our ministry. And so as we continue to grow, we knew we needed spaces, not just to grow as a Sunday morning congregation, a sanctuary, but we knew we needed classroom spaces, youth spaces, and places to grow for that particular area of our ministry. So God put it in our hearts. God gave you a specific word about building the discipleship center.
Right. He spoke to me and said, make a room, make a place where people can come and hear me speak to them. Make rooms for my voice. And again, it's so interesting that we're in this One Voice campaign right now, initiative, because the voice of the Lord, us hearing His voice, us communicating His voice through the Scriptures, is really the central theme of Abundant Life. We believe that if we can really hear what God is saying to us, not just historically through the Scriptures, but immediately by the Holy Spirit, that we can not only change our lives, but change our world. One word from God, one inspired thought from God can change your life forever. From the very beginning of the call of God on our lives to start Abundant Life, part of the call was that we would develop a voice, not just to our own congregation, but to our community and to our world. That we were to have an opportunity to reach others through that voice. You know, a voice is a mechanism to amplify a thought, a concept, an idea. God has a voice. We have a voice. When we speak of something's voice, we're talking about that amplifier of its thoughts and ideas. And so developing the voice of Abundant Life to the community, what we would say to the community and to the world, would not just be about what we preach and teach on the weekends, but also about what we do for people, what we would demonstrate by being God's love, by being Christ's hands extended to our community. So from the very beginning, we wanted to serve our community and have a voice that would call our community to serve one another. It started really with a radio program. When we felt the Lord speak to us about the church, the same exact night He spoke to us about going on the waves of the air, going on the radio. And so for the last really 20 years, up until this January, we had a radio broadcast every single day, Monday through Friday, for 15 minutes at 8:30 a.m. on WSIV. You could hear Abundant Living. And then that voice expanded. We were in Rochester 5 days a week, in Pittsburgh, and in Asheville, North Carolina, and Albany, and we had a lot of fruit as a result of that radio voice. But part of the calling in our lives from the beginning was to have a television voice or a video voice as well. And we waited a long time for this. We kind of took some early steps back in the early 90s, but we felt the Lord speak to us and say, wait. And it was about 3 years ago that we received a witness in our hearts and a word from the Lord that it was time to begin television ministry. And we took a year to get ready, and we started coming to life 2 years ago this January. And we have been on the air every single Sunday morning at 11 a.m. on Channel 9 for the last 2 years, and we have seen that program grow. We have folks in all parts of the world that write and want books, or they want teaching, they want materials, they want information. And so as we continue to strengthen our technological voice, as we build the pipelines that we can send teaching content, much of it, if not all of it, free of charge, through the web and through various methods, we can help build people, congregations, ministers, and support God's work in all the most remote parts of the world. The best is yet to come, and I am excited about what God has done at Abundant Life in 20 years. I don't know everything that's next, but I've got a feeling it's going to be a wild ride. So hang on. I'm John Carter.
I'm Lisa Carter. This is our life.
And this is our story.